Bricks and Minifigs is your one-stop shop for all things LEGO. Hit the link below to find a store near you. Hey everyone, Joshua Hanlon here at BrickSlopes in Salt Lake City, and I'm inside the Great Ball Contraption layout here at BrickSlopes. I'm joined by one of the builders who is helping keep this thing running. If you want to introduce yourself, and then we'll take a look at all the modules.
Absolutely. I'm Neil Snowball out of Vancouver. I'm the GBC coordinator for this year here at BrickSlopes. We're pleased to be back here. We're very pleased to have an actual loop this year rather than an out and back on the table. So that's a big change for us. And we've got 6 different builders contributing this year for 2 different countries. We're down from Canada and brought a whole bunch of stuff. And we got some local folks and some folks that have come in from out of town.
Perfect. Well, let's start with this one on the corner and make our way through.
Absolutely. So starting at the corner, we've got a relatively new builder that is starting here. So this princess and unicorn themed build is Roxanne Baxter. She's fairly new to GBC, but we love this. Love the theming, the little wheel, and it's a great little module. Just been going away, cranking away for a day and a half at this point with no real complaints.
Some nice Frozen vibes from that corner.
Absolutely, absolutely. We like modules that just sit and crunch away but look pretty, and we want something for everybody. Then we're into one of my modules, my Rainbow Stepper. This is a convention favorite. It's been all over the place, and it just crunches away. You can see it's getting a little dirty and dusty there from the amount of work it does.
Now, I'm noticing a mix of the green balls and the orange ones. So what's the difference there?
All right, so the greenish balls, those are actually the UV balls from PV Productions. We would have had all orange and white balls out, but due to technical complications of not being able to find all of the convention balls, they're somewhere in Utah, we had to revert to using the UV balls for the full weekend now. So that's a little bit of a difference and a change, but they really do stand out on the modules, so that's a good thing. So we're at an Emmett's Crane module there. This is a pinwheel original design. I've tweaked it a little bit to fix the gearing, and it's a very much a crowd favorite. The kids love to come up and suddenly go, "Oh look, there's Emmett!" So we love getting those touches into the show. Then that feeds into one of the BrickSlopes convention modules from last year, so the 2022 Conveyor module. It's a nice little workhorse, just crunches away, and that's feeding into one of Matt Norman's wheel modules that we have at least 3 of them out here this weekend. They're very popular. Moving along into this super fast whirligig module. I think this is running on like 12 volts, so it's hyper loaded, but it's just smacking the balls through all day long. And that's Mike Litzter, a local builder. He's built that one, and it's another little workhorse. That's feeding into the 2021 BrickSlopes module. You'll notice the color theming here from the 3 different BrickSlopes slopes there. And then from there into Quentin's bucket, scoop, and oscillator. So that's feeding a batch over into a little conveyor module. All right. Yep. So we've had a little bit of back and forth on this corner, switching things out. We've got a little conveyor module that's going into a bunch of other conveyors. And then into our second Matt Norman wheel module of the day. We've come to like those because they're nice and stable. Into this multicolored arrangement of ball pumps and wheel modules. And then from there, that's eventually from the ball pump feeding into the Minecraft Creeper module. And so the Minecraft Creeper module, the great thing about that is that it's got a glass-fronted torso, and you can watch the balls drop down from the conveyor through into the Archimedes screw at the end. So this corner is Andrew and Aaron Langdon, and they are local builders. They've also been to Brickworld a few times, so they've had some of their modules there. So they've built the Archimedes screw in the corner, I really like this one because of the color scheme they've chosen. They've gone with the yellow half lift arms with a green stud on the end, and it really does pop out color-wise when it rotates around. Then we're into, from that, it's last year's BrickWorld module, another little workhorse that we love. They just grind out, and they're our backup module for a lot of things here. Is just, we got a problem, grab that BrickWorld module, it'll solve it. Going into that is into what I call the pink pusher. So this is one of mine. It's an evolution of Kevin Mitchum's original pusher module. It's actually a pair of modules, but they're separated right now. So the pink one and the black and yellow one, they will actually connect together and work as a splitter module if we want to. And but we've just been running a single loop this weekend.
I think it's time to rebrand this as the Barbie module.
We could do, yeah. I'm one of the few people that likes to work in pink for these things, and so I've had a lot of people comment as, oh look, there's a pink module. So yeah, we try to speak to everybody, and yeah, maybe it is now's the year for it to be the Barbie module. All right, we're going into a little whirligig module there. That's another Matt Norman design that is feeding through into my newest module of the year. You've seen this at a few conventions now, which is Slapshot, my ice hockey themed module. Being a Canadian, ice hockey is important to us, and so I've got my little sports corner coming on quite nicely. I'm trying to think of what the next sporting module will be for next year. So this is using the old ice hockey rink set, both the plates at the bottom and the piece that rotates the ice hockey players. It's something a lot of people will have from 20 years ago, and it'll be sitting in a box somewhere going, what do I do with that? This is what you do with it. You put it into a GBC. And so from there, with our exceedingly useless goalie, who never stops anything, we're going into the snowboarders and the half pipe. So they're working it. We've lost both the elastic bands on the half pipe this weekend. They've eventually failed, and so the snowboarders have stopped doing tricks. They're just going for standard jumps at this point. But otherwise, under normal circumstances, they'd be doing aerials as they go over the top. But yeah, it's getting a little tired. And into the corner, this is one of Pinwheel's sidestepper modules. We again have a few of these. They're a great little module. And we've got them themed in different colors. So this is our gray and blue one, and that is feeding into the horrendously colored module that I built. This is an internal chain lift, and it's also a full recirculating module, and it runs both forwards and backwards. This was designed specifically to use the vibrant yellow and to fluoresce in low light conditions. It is otherwise horrendous to look at, but it works really well. It's got a good capacity, and if we ever have a problem, we can flip the ramps and it'll recirculate. It's got capacity for something like 60 to 100 balls, so it's always a good, reliable piece to put in there. That's feeding into another of Pinwheel's sidesteppers, this one in nice red and black coloring, and it feeds directly from that into my Ode to Canada, the Leap of Faith A, which is I think we're running at about 3 feet of a vertical drop. You'll notice there's nothing holding it down, there's no guy lines. It is purely just standing there hoping to hit the target when it drops off. And we're right now much more than 99% accurate. It's been hitting pretty good this weekend, which is great. And so from there, it feeds into a series of modules you may have seen before. My carrot patch that's been around a bit. That's a nice, simple conveyor module. And from there, feeding into the Blackbird, another conveyor module. The weird thing about this one is the balls go over the top and drop down and come out the beak of the bird, which is a little bit of a different item for people to see. And then from the Blackbird, we go into what I call Workshop Wonderland, people who follow GBCs, they'll recognize these. We've got Brick Fair Virginia. We've got an extended version of last year's BrickSlopes module. So I took this and made the input bin a bit longer to give more capacity. Another one of the BrickSlopes 2021. And then I've stuck the third of our Matt Norman wheel modules in the middle here. The little grey one, that's Bricks by the Bay, that just thumps them out. And then as we get to the end of Workshop Wonderland is a different coloured version of the Brick World 2022 wheel sitting on the end. And the final piece before we get to the up and over is we have my triple lifter that is a vertical lift working on the 3-arm lift arm piece that just draws balls up and drops them into the next module. And then we're finishing off with an up and over. So this is Quentin's up and over. We got a chain drive on the front. This long slope into the tower protected by the bucket dragon. And then the bucket dragon, we got a vertical drop down the middle of the tower and out to the start of our loop.
I love this tower here. It's legitimately very well done, detailed castle build, just kind of in the midst of GBC.
Oh, absolutely. It is robust. You look at that and it's solid, and then you look at the other side of the up and over and you go, well, it holds together, but it's definitely wobbling a little bit. So, yeah, I was admiring the castle earlier, thinking I should build one of my own and see how I can integrate some GBC up and over into one of those.
Any danger from the height difference here and how low that is?
Well, I'm 6'5". I've only hit it once so far this weekend, and that's because I was walking backwards. I am deliberately stooping extra low when I get close to it, just to make sure. Everybody else seems to have no problem with it. I think it's just me that has the height issue.
So you mentioned at the beginning it's the first time they've done an actual loop here at BrickSlopes. So what are some of the challenges of that versus kind of the older style layouts that have happened here?
Well, the loop is great because everybody can see all of it all the time. But, we're a relatively small loop, so we're quite tight and compact. You and I are stood here in the middle. We are basically one table width wide, so it's not the most spacious area in the middle here, but otherwise it's generally quite good. We like it. Some of the other things you might notice running around the edge is we've got this net wall that Quentin built. So Quentin, like a lot of AFOLs, got in on the 1 cent net gig that happened on Lego.com a while back. And his thought was, let's build a wall for the GBC with it. We really like it. It's visible, and people can see through it, and it's worked very well this weekend.
Well, fantastic layout here. Always love to see the different GBC builders from around the country when they come together. So thank you so much. Oh, I don't know if we touched on this build right here.
We haven't. So yeah, sitting right in the middle here, isolated from everything else. This is actually the theme winner from GBC here at BrickSlopes this weekend. This is Nana King by Lauren Lovelace from Lug Vegas. So it's currently running in self-circulatory mode. Though despite being the winner, it did have a few teething problems yesterday evening. And so we took it out the loop. Lauren has fixed it up, but we wanted to make sure people could see it because visually it is a very beautiful module. The whole arcade style on the front. And so wanted to make sure that everybody could see it, even if it is on self-circulation mode.
Perfect. Well, I'm glad we could get that one in here in the video as well. So thank you once again. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. It's good to see you guys, and we'll see you at the next con.